You know, when I first encounter a different parole officer, I let them know, like, I'm a mother before anything, as a parolee, as you want to call it, or an ex-inmate, you know, which I'm not. I'm a human being that was just incarcerated.
Being a mom and being afraid to leave my child again, who was traumatized and impacted the first time. It was always stressful in the house because I don't think that I could fully focus on parenting because I was focusing on supervision calling and doing the right thing for supervision, that my mind was never clear. And it's still a little bit that way.
When I first came home, I was living with my mother and my daughter, and parole would come at 6 o'clock in the morning and disturb the whole house. My daughter has to get ready for school. I have to get ready for work. And my mother may have had a treatment the night before from dialysis, and she's tired and fatigued.
And I had to be home by a certain time, but the subway system in New York City isn't always reliable. So you could be stuck underground. Your cell phone doesn't work, so you can call them, and they're calling your house and sending people over because you're 8 minutes late. So it was pretty traumatic and always on eggshells and afraid that the smallest infraction caused, having to leave my family again.
My daughter's first graduation, me being home, she was graduating from junior high school. And I remember at the time I had a male parole officer. First, I didn't hear my phone go off, right? And I'm like, I'm nervous. So I call him and I'm like, I'm home. Like, I didn't, go anywhere. Like, I'm really trying to convince this man, like, I just didn't hear my phone. I was asleep. And he was like, well, I'm on my way back to your house. I said, okay, but what time is that? Because I have to leave with my daughter for her graduation. And he said, graduation? Well, I don't know if that's possible.
I think supervision was more nerve-wracking and more frightening than incarceration because you always had the looming fear that you would be sent back over minor things. I have restitution in my case, and it was hard to find a job because when you're coming home, no one wants to hire what they call a convict or a felon. So they expected me to pay $100 a month, even though I couldn't find gainful employment.
The parole system is a way of another form of bondage, and letting you know as a human being that they would never allow you to forget what you once were. That decision I made that put me behind bars for 15 years was not who I am. That doesn't overall say that's my essence. That's not.